So hello everybody and welcome to the NUTRI-KNOW webinar series. My name is Daniel. I'm with the European Science Communication Institute, or short ESCI, in Germany. And we are the communication partner of NUTRI-KNOW. I'm the communication manager of NUTRI-KNOW. And feel free during the presentation to ask questions by using the chat or the Q&A tool, which we also have. And I think you should also be able to raise your hand. So you feel free to use that feature if you have any questions. I will be monitoring all that and see to the technical aspects of this meeting. But today we have our project coordinator, Victor Cabral-Perello, here to give an introduction to this webinar series and also the NUTRI-KNOW project. You should see the slides already. Let me know if anything is strange, if you can't hear Victor, or if you can't hear me, or if you can't see the slides. But I assume everything is fine, so I give the floor to Victor. Thank you for being here, Victor, and the stage is yours.
Thank you, Daniel. I hope that you can hear me well, right? Can you hear me? Yes?
I can hear you, Victor.
Okay,
And
so
I think they also should be able.
I see the hands. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and again, welcome to the first webinar of this series of 7 NUTRI-KNOW webinars. As Daniel said, I'm Victor Carvajal, the head of Governance for Sustainability Unit at Beta Tech Center, and member of the coordination team of NUTRI-KNOW project. So, as you may know, this is the introductory webinar, in which it will be introduced the project, some crucial concepts, and we will start introducing some of the innovations that will be presented in the rest of the webinars. So next slide, please, Daniel. Right, so prior starting, giving some content, and if you allow me, I would like to take just 1 minute to present one of the outcomes that NUTRI-KNOW have created, and we are very proud of it. This is the NUTRI-KNOW Community of Practice, an open forum in multiple regions and languages that everybody is welcome to participate. The important trait of this platform is the direct knowledge exchange that allows professionals involving practitioners, advisors, researchers, etc., who are sharing questions or challenges and receive answers from the community. Let's say additionally, knowledge exchange is beyond borders. It is shared the most interesting threads among regions, allowing challenges potentially being solved around Europe. You will be amazed, no, with the same challenges that we're facing among regions. So saying that, we invite you to register and start exploring this platform. Here you have the QR. You can register and just explore a bit. And sorry about that, but in this minute of advertisement, we can start with the content of this webinar. Thank you, Daniel. Right, so as said, this is the first of a series of 7 webinars that we are going to conduct. Each webinar will be conducted once per week until mid-November, if I'm not wrong. And here you can check the upcoming sessions, and you also can register, and etc. So next slide, please. So before going further, we have prepared a very quick question to the audience, but highly important for us. It will allow us to shape the future webinars to the outcome of this mini survey, no? And the question is very simple, is what do you expect from this webinar? So Daniel, to answer this question? Yes, exactly.
I will just share a different window now, and then you should be able to either type the URL you are seeing right now on top, or just scan the QR code, and that should lead you to this poll where you can then enter some text about what you expect from our webinar series.
Exactly. You just need to scan this QR and, I don't know, type a sentence or keyword, just keywords that will help us to manage the upcoming webinars. And I think that we can leave 1-2 minutes to people start answering this question.
Yeah, we have some people coming in, so
some examples. I can provide some examples, maybe, no, just to maybe you want to understand better some technical aspects of the innovations that we will explain, or maybe do you want just to have a general understanding of one specific topic, maybe processing technologies. I don't know, it's up to you. No, we are open in all this, and at the end we will take notes and hope that we can provide a useful and easy to understand content for the next sessions. But I think that it's very important, no, that we approach this challenge of webinars with your input, and then we can shape it aligned with your needs. Let's say like this. All right. Knowledge, innovations. That's good. That's good. That's good. I think that we can achieve this if it's knowledge, new knowledge. Okay, that's all about NUTRI-KNOW. Knowledge, information exchange, knowledge. Okay, that's really good. That's how we, let's say that this is how we organize the webinars, no, based on the knowledge. So that's really good that you are interested on the part of this. So we will give 30 seconds if people is still answering. So I guess that people is focusing knowledge, but also are you, when you say knowledge, is knowledge in general or maybe knowledge in a certain topic? Or I guess that NUTRI-KNOW series, that this is raising different topics. I guess that it will cover all the field of knowledge. Change. Okay. Okay, I think that that's good. That's good. And thank you everyone for contributing to this. So I think that we can pass to the next slide. Let's go with this knowledge and innovation thing.
let me just go back to the slides.
No problem.
And it's uploading.
Mm-hmm. Right, we were in the 5th slide. Right, so let's start. So in order to explain this project, it's important to know why we need this project, no? And from one hand, there is a contextual challenge, right? Here are some examples found in media, no? The EU is dependent to fertilizer imports. It should be less dependent. High cost of fertilizers due to the crisis. Reuse of nutrients or let die. Recover nutrients as the solutions. Need of reduction of the soil nutrient losses. Therefore, a safe and cost-efficient nutrient management is a strategic element for the European agricultural sector. Member states have an urgent need to optimize the use of resources and facilitate the transitions toward a circular bio-based agriculture. Next slide, please. So on the other side, we have another challenge, the knowledge challenge. Research nowadays is following a linear approach, meaning that a research project starts, is executed, and once is executed, let's say it is stored, no? And again with another project, again. This can be a problem. So what we propose is to recirculate this knowledge, to put again all the knowledge created in the loop of innovation. But why? Because recirculating knowledge will allow to increase the added value through adding experience when the project is done. We know what works and what didn't work. Also aggregating knowledge by putting together different complementary knowledge. Also identifying new challenge. And finally, very interesting, I think, is increasing the lifespan of the innovations. Next slide, please. So, how can we achieve this? The answer is through a capitalization process. We have not invented this process. This process was already defined as an integrated construction process which combines the outcomes of research projects in a specific thematic area to broaden the impact. So this process involves knowledge sharing, raising awareness of achievement in a particular field, and maximize the impact of the outcomes obtained. Therefore, this process should be understood as the use of results and knowledge of projects to generate new knowledge to support, for example, the development of future policies. Right? The process of capitalization then supports the circularity, including the reuse and the knowledge transfer, promoting improved performance and distribution. Next slide, please. So this process of capitalization aims different things, right? The first one is to identify relevant stakeholders with high evidence-based impact results and create an engaged community to find solutions for common challenges. Second is to create a knowledge and research generated by projects more accessible, long-lasting, useful, applicable, and appealing. Then to facilitate the replication of novel practices based on sector needs and common priorities. Also to raise awareness and improvement of communication of results in specific fields, to identify synergies and policies tackling specific sectors and integrating the knowledge at different technical and policy levels, and finally to align political priorities and collaborations. So capitalization eventually becomes a complementary procedure to the information, communication, monitoring, and evaluation process. Right? Next slide, please. Saying that, here comes into play NUTRI-KNOW as one example of this process. Currently, and as I said, there is a lot of knowledge produced. And in this case, we are focusing on the framework, of the EIP agri-operational groups. These research projects produce recommendations, tools, products for the agricultural sector. But a small amount of these innovations are adopted by practitioners, let's say farmers. Consequently, there is a current knowledge to application gap. So here appears NUTRI-KNOW, who is, let's say, facing this gap. How? By collecting, translating, and sharing an easy to understand and practice-oriented knowledge. Next slide, please. So NUTRI-KNOW was born as thematic network. Thematic because it's related to nutrient management, and network because involved different foreign countries, aiming to increase the impact of the operational groups, knowledge innovations. So at the end, we are considered just a tool that enables this broadening through different activities and materials. Next slide, please. Okay, here they are just some of the figures of the project. I don't want to get into detail on that. Just to mention the main objective that we have in NUTRI-KNOW. We are in the half of the project. So the main objective of NUTRI-KNOW is to broaden the operational group outcomes across borders to modernize and dynamize the agri-food sector by collecting, translating, and sharing easy to understand and practice-oriented knowledge in the field of nutrient management. So at the end, NUTRI-KNOW will assure the appropriate adoption of the project outcomes on nutrient management best practices by farmers, practitioners, and other relevant users. As you can see here, NUTRI-KNOW is a CSA, so there is not research implied. What we are doing, as I mentioned before, is this capitalization process. We are broadening the impact of the, let's say, the research that is already done. Next slide, please. So NUTRI-KNOW have several distinguished characteristics that makes it differential from our point of view. The first one is this multi-actor approach that we have applied since its conception of the project, as all actors from the quadruple helix have been involved, meaning academia, we have different academia actors, also private sector, also public administration and civil society. And all of them compose this consortium, which is from Spain, Italy, Belgium, Ireland, but also we have Denmark and Germany. Additional and very important is that NUTRI-KNOW is built under the so-called value chain of nutrient. This value chain is composed by 6 steps that the innovation and knowledge from the research project of the operational groups fed such a pieces of a puzzle. Also, if you have realized, these steps of the value chain are the titles of the 6 following webinars. No, we have livestock farming, storage systems, processing technologies, fertilizer production, transport, and application. So all these operational groups that we have within NUTRI-KNOW project, that there are 12, I will explain later, uh, all the knowledge and all the innovations that they provide, they fit into this value chain. No, and we use this as a very strong storytelling, no, that help us to let's say to broaden the impact of this research. Next slide, please. So saying that NUTRI-KNOW has a very accurate capitalization methodology that is used to increase the impact of these multiple innovations. No, this is just the general approach of the whole project, and as we said, we have an input. Know that this input is the knowledge created by the operational groups, and as I said, we have 3 from Spain, 3 from Belgium, 3 from Italy, and 3 from Ireland. So we have at the end 12 operational groups that we preselected. So they are the base core of NUTRI-KNOW knowledge. No, and this knowledge gets into this capitalization process or this methodology, let's say like this, which is defined step by step. No, we have different steps. The first one is the collection and homogenization, then the multi-actor approach, then the consolidation and translation, deployment and transfer, and finally this interconnection. This is the whole executing process, let's say like this, no, based on capitalization process that NUTRI-KNOW is doing. But also, and very important, I think that we have to mention that the added value of this project is the results amplification methodology. We are doing a standard capitalization methodology that after this project can be used by any actor interested in capitalizing this knowledge. And it is very important, no? Because at the end, what we are creating is a tool that will be used by anyone or by any kind of research to broaden the impact of the same research. So what we are doing is using NUTRI-KNOW as a pilot test to validate this methodology. This methodology will be published at the end of the project, but I think that is a very, let's say, high added value of this project. Next slide. Right. So here is the knowledge, no, that we have in NUTRI-KNOW. Here are the name of the 12 selected operational groups that NUTRI-KNOW is capitalizing. We could say that most of the projects relies on them, no, on the knowledge and innovation that is provided. So here are these 12. We have, as I said, 3 from Spain, 3 from Belgium, 3 from Italy, and 3 from Ireland. These are already finished, these operational groups. And I will start giving some brief information of these operational groups to start giving you ideas and of this new innovation. Next slide, please. So I will start with the Spanish one, that there are 3. I want to try to be very brief because I don't want to be spoiling the content of the other webinars, but just to get some ideas. First of all, we have this manure concentration or slurry concentration. That is a technology that separates peak slurry into 2 liquid parts at low cost with minimal energy use and no extra emissions. So both parts that are separated can be used as a fertilizer with the same equipment. The second one is the manure management tool. This tool uses sensors to measure nutrient levels of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in a slurry, and includes software to quickly create livestock management records and fertilization plans. And the third one is the FertiCop Go. This is a fast testing system and digital platform that help farmers to apply the best environmental practices for managing manure and fertilization, reducing their environmental impact. So these are the 3 Spanish. Let's pass to the next slide with the Italian ones. Here we have also 3. They're called SOS Aquae. This is an innovative system that uses renewable fertilizers from livestock waste and this state applied through drip irrigation to maximize the use of locally available nutrients. Also, we have a gas loop, a machine that reduces ammonia emissions inside pig farms and improve air quality while producing ammonium sulfate, an alternative to synthetic nitrogen fertilizers. And the last one, the last Italian one, is the Struvite, a prototype treatment system that reduces greenhouse emissions from manure. The system recovers the struvite, which helps distribute nitrogen and phosphorus to areas lacking of these nutrients. Next slide, please. So we move to the Belgian ones. Here we have Renure. This is a technology that recovers ammonium salts from manure using a stripping scrubbing process, making it easier to apply recovered nutrients in agriculture. After that, we have Pocket Board 2. It's a guidance based on the experience of dairy farmers using Pocket Digester, helping to solve common issues and improve performance. And the last Belgian one is Grass to Algae. That this is a technology that processes excess grass from farm edges into juice for cultivating microalgae as alternative protein source. Finally, the Irish ones. So we have MOPS that is about optimization of organic horticulture through better crop planning and effective use of green and organic fertilizers, reducing the need of imported products. Then the biorefinery glass, a small mobile biorefinery that produces multiple products from grass, including fiber, animal fat protein, prebiotic sugars, and nutrients for fertilizers. And finally, and the last one is Duncannon Blue Flag Farming. It's a template for creating farm-specific maps that identify pollution risk areas with the goal of rewarding farmers for improving water quality in sensitive regions. Right? So, a lot of information, a lot of things, but that's good that you know a bit what are about all the operational groups and what we will be treating in the different webinars. As you see here, and as I mentioned, there will be 6 technical webinars, and these six technical webinars will be composed, as I said, as a puzzle, right? They will be composed with these innovations of the personal groups that we already commented, and we will create this let's say storytelling about all this value chain. So as you see here, we have these 6, and each of it has several, or maybe one in the case of transport, operational groups innovation. You can see that the operational groups can provide one or more than one innovation. That's why they are considered indifferent. No? So this is the way that we will construct this webinar, and you will see it all here. So next slide, please. Right. That's a very, very, very important slide for the audience, I think, because we have this series of webinars, but also, and very important, we have produced tangible documents that contain all this information in an easy to understand and practice-oriented way. And these are the booklets. And this is the premiere because we have unloaded this I think last week in the website, and from now on you can find this in our resource section in our website, NUTRI-KNOW website, and it can help you also to follow much better the following webinars, as they contain most of the information that will be we trade in the webinars, also images to support, etc. And here are the QR code for downloading the code, the booklet. Sorry, you can access easily, and you can. I think, Daniel, correct me if I'm right. All in the same folder, right? In the same. They are
Yeah,
not
it's just
divided. They are in the
one
same.
zip
No?
folder.
One single folder, right? So we invite you to download all this content and start exploring because as I mentioned, the rest of the webinars will be more technical than this one. That this one is just the introduction, just to know a bit what we are doing, what we have done until today. And the last slide, and I think that is something that we wanted to commend you really fast, is I don't know if you are familiar with the EU Farmbook. I just wanted to finish my presentation sharing with you other information about one of the most important European repositories that we are currently contributors. In fact, I think that NUTRI-KNOW is one of the contributors that has more content that has been uploaded within this platform. And well, this is just a repository, no, that you can find plenty of what they say knowledge objects. We say just documents, no, or just documents that are related to NUTRI-KNOW, no, and also what we invite you is to check them and also to download, because it's just not NUTRI-KNOW who is contributing to this repository that's called EU Farmbook. It's, I mean, we are participating in a lot of projects, and I think that is a very useful resource to take in mind. Also, if you are participating in other projects, to collaborate also with the EU Farmbook. Next slide, and I think that's it, right? If I'm not wrong. Right. So that was the introduction that we planned for this webinar. I think that we tried to be brief, because I think that the important thing is to have the general picture of NUTRI-KNOW, the capitalization process that we are doing, and the reasons why NUTRI-KNOW appear, no, in this ecosystem of innovation. And I think that it's important to have this also your input in the survey, because from here we can um, guide a bit more the content that we produce on the next webinars. And you see here at the end of this slide, these are the different partners that we are in NUTRI-KNOW, and they will take care of presenting the webinars, if I'm not wrong. So from my point of view, I think that the introduction of this series of webinar is done. And also we are very open to answer any question that you may have or any suggestion, etc. Thank you very much, everyone. And I guess that these slides will be available as soon as we finish, I guess, all the series of webinars. Thank you very much. And the floor, guys, is yours to the audience if you have any questions or anything that you want to mention.
Thank you, Victor. So yeah, if there are any questions, feel free to use the chat or just speak up, raise your hand. Questions, suggestions, whatever, we are open to everything.
I have, okay. Is there no info knowledge? Sorry, there is one question here from Jalmer. Is there no info knowledge on hygienization? Well, we are not covering hygienization from this value chain of the 6 steps, as you see. There is no direct, let's say, direct knowledge of hygienization. I don't know if we have technical partners here that they can answer, but from my point of view, I'll say that there is no direct knowledge on hygienization. It's related more on nutrient management instead of hygienization. That I think that is a secondary phase. Hope that we have answered this question to Jalmer. Also, I just want to give or to raise a question, because I don't know if you are really familiar with the capitalization processes of research, and I think that is something that it can be very complex, no, but at the same time it's needed, because as I said, no, there is a lot of research, and we need to do something with all the research that is done, no, to get the maximum that we can get from this research. And I don't know if the capitalization process can be complex or difficult somehow for someone, but at the end, when you get in and you understand why and the necessity, and you follow this methodology, it can be, let's say, less complex. No, I won't say that is easy, but it's less complex. No, and at the end, what we are looking is to increase the impact, no, of the research and the capitalization process for your research. As if you are investigator or you are, um, it's important. It's important to take into account. And no topic on groundwater. No, because this project is related to nutrient management. We are not related to water management. Chalmer, I think that I have answered your question. No, this project is related basically to nutrient management in terms of fertilizers and agri-food sector.
Although, if I'm not mistaken, we do have some operational groups that touch the topic of water pollution.
Yeah, Irish ones,
yeah.
I think, if I'm not wrong,
Mm-hmm.
the Duncommon Red Blue Flag operational group, but it's not let's say that is not the core knowledge that we are capitalizing. But some of the thing is that the operational groups created a lot of innovation, a lot of outcomes, and one of the outcomes could be related to groundwater pollution. That's true. But I just want to be clear that we are not facing this as a challenge. The groundwater is more related to the value chain of nutrient management. Thank you, Daniel, for your comment.
If there are no further questions, I have maybe an invitation to you. I will just send a small form in the chat that you can use to evaluate this webinar that you've attended today. It will take about 2 minutes, just 5 short questions. And there's also the possibility to write down some additional, maybe even questions that you may have. We are very interested in improving and making the best of the upcoming webinars. So it would be great if you click the link and answer the survey. Yeah, after the webinar, we would really appreciate it. It's anonymous, so no data collected.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. No, I just want to add that this first webinar was a bit shorter, I guess, than the rest, because as I said, I don't want to be spoiling the information that we are providing in the following webinars. It's just to open the appetite, no, of the following ones, and just to know what we will be doing in the following 6 webinars. And yes, thank you very much, all of you, to attend. And Daniel said, as Daniel said, we want you to know your opinion on that. And thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you all for attending. I think I will end the meeting now. If there anything coming up, you can always find our contact data on the NUTRI-KNOW website as well. So feel free to get in touch with us, and hopefully see some of you in one of the next webinars. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.